Well, okay, so let's go into the next part of the story, unless anyone else has something to say. But I
Not
feel
me.
like this next part is the other reason why I feel like Blizzard is messing up in some regard because they've openly said, we've expanded our Blizzard WoW team. We used to have only a measly 150 people working on just World of Warcraft alone, which people were getting tired. And then they were basically promising, well, we just upped that double. So they have over 300 people on the WoW team now. And that started in Mist. That started in Mist. Almost towards the end of Mist. I'd say probably Throne of Thunder to Mist, because they said that they already had those new people already working on the next expansion, which is Warlords. And yet we get less content in an expansion than we've ever had before. Why is that? I'll start off with you, Mogwin.
Well, I have to wonder that myself. I mean, are they working on the next expansion? This expansion that's coming up after Warlords of Draenor? Uh, I mean, did were they like just working on other stuff, and did they have to be brought up to speed? Why does it seem like you have so many, extra resources, but less, it feels like less content. Maybe Blizzard would disagree, I don't, but it doesn't seem like, you know, like Twitter and the selfie cam. I don't feel like that should have like that would take 150 people to figure out how to make it work.
That should have came in on a random Tuesday maintenance, and
I
It's
mean,
that
I
should have
can
been it.
I can answer kind of why. I can give you guys an idea of why it seems that way.
Go for
so
it.
well, let
I'll
me
go for Ben.
okay, so and and now now I know that Blizzard is they're $1 billion company, or at least very close to it. They've certainly made several $1 billion. Um, and so I don't know. I kind of feel like I'm wondering if the guys who started the company. I mean, they started the company. They were hungry. They were these fantasy game minded people, and they had vision, and they made this awesome game. Okay, and everybody loved it, and they've made a lot of money. They have enriched themselves. Okay, and they're older, and they're thinking maybe these guys who had the vision were thinking, hey, well, I'm rich now, or I'm wealth. I'm comfortable now, and I want to enjoy my comfort. And maybe they don't have as much of that hunger and that vision anymore. And the guys that they have gotten to replace them to kind of carry on the deal don't, I don't know, they still need the leadership in the vision part of the whole thing. They have the skills to do it, to make the game, but they lack the vision.
Okay. And Neo, what's your whole take on this?
Well, I mean, to answer your guys' questions about, why does it seem like there's less content? It's not technically less content. It's just the fact that content is coming out faster. Replace content is not as good as before. Basically, when you say they hired a whole bunch of people, it's kind of like a restaurant. You have managers and you have workers and you have servers and people in the back. You increase production on things, but it doesn't change the menu. So if people, I mean, you have people in charge that tell you what to develop. But now that instead of one person working on development, you have 3 or 4 people working on development, which pushes out things to be made faster. The fact that the selfie thing was introduced or whatever, and Twitter, that was a based decision on some group of people, but not like the 300 people they just recruited to put in for a bigger, to bigger department. That just means it could come out faster than they wanted to, and that's partly why content's come out as fast as it has. It's just not been very good decisions on content itself. Like, because it was what, this expansion released in November, and it's July, and we've already gone through 2 tiers, and they're already saying already planning ahead, and they're thinking maybe this could be a good place to stop or something, and that's on them. But you see what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I see what you're saying. And what about you, Zara?
I agree with Neo. I think they're putting out content quicker, but I think maybe like they're doing the content. It seems good. Maybe not great, but it seems good. Like a lot of people like the Twitter thing. A lot of people like the selfie cam. Just using them as an example. There's tons of other little things they put in, but maybe like they're putting these things out and like how he said like where it used to be one head guy developing something with maybe 15, 20 people underneath him, and then it gets okayed, then they send it up the pipeline and they okay, and it's all right, let's get working to get it in the game. Maybe there's 5 groups like that now, and they're pushing it out even faster because they have 30 people on each team, and that each team is split up into 2, and they're making stuff that's kind of neat, and it's a decent little content thing, but it's nothing spectacular. Where maybe they used to take that and be like, they'd get together and be like, oh, this is great, but hey Bill, what if like we did this and that, and then they threw ideas back and all right, let's go back and rework it. This sounds awesome. Let's make this great. Where it's like, oh no, that'll work fine. Yeah, let's do that, and then that's it. And it's just like, that's it. Yeah, but we gave you 3 of them. I didn't want 3 of them. We gave you Twitter and the selfie camera. I'm good. I didn't really care for that. And a new pet battle caller. Yeah, I didn't care for that either.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not trying to bring up points. Like, I just feel like we've gotten this type of standard from expansions and beginning of expansions. And like I said, Warlords was amazing in the beginning. The quest experience was amazing. I just felt like Blizzard knows this. They've already done expansions. They know that it's all going to lead to endgame anyway. Like, questing and leveling is a very small part of this game now. We don't do that a lot unless unless you're playing a lot of alts. But really, it's all in the end game, and I feel like their end game plan for Warlords was completely botched. I mean, I personally love the garrisons. I love the followers. A lot of things that I wish was a little bit different as far as like, the followers should have been account bound. Getting all those followers again for each tune to me just felt stupid and ridiculous. But other than that, I mean, I feel like it it just wasn't as planned as I felt like Mist was. Mist was planned for Endgame. As much as we hate the infinite dailies they gave us, they planned all that. They had a set plan of when opening up the Golden Lotus, when you had to go into the Klaxi. They had a plan. Like in Warlords, I felt like it was just do Apex's dailies and garrison stuff. Blah. That's it. I mean, am I right? I mean,
It definitely feels that way.
so I don't know. I just feel like with their team now, there isn't an excuse, and nor there should be an excuse anymore. I am not going to take any more excuses. So that's going to lead me into the next question.